everybody, it is Professor Parrish, and we are on Module 8 for English 122. And so I want to talk about a few quick things with this module that we're going to discuss this week. You'll notice there are only 2 assignments, just your discussion and your midterm. Yay, rah. But also that there is these midterm review games and study guides. So we're going to go over that. This may not be an entirely long video because this week is focusing mainly on the midterm point of the class. So if you look at the module guide here, you've made it to midterm. Congrats! Yay! We're halfway through. So here's what you're doing this week. In literature, there is A Good Man is Hard to Find and Insights into a Good Man is Hard to Find, ranging from pages 399 to 438 in our textbook. So there is going to be a discussion forum, and then you do have your midterm. So the Good Man is Hard to Find is going to relate to the discussion forum. We'll talk about that in a moment. And then your midterm, you only have 1 attempt. So very important to note, you only have 1 attempt at your midterm. So make sure that your internet connection is rock solid before you start. When I was in college at SIC, my internet was awful. So I had to either go to like the local library in town, or I had to go to SIC on campus to do my tests because I was always afraid my internet would cut out and then I wouldn't be able to submit it. So if that is a concern for you, you have this entire week to figure out what you're going to do. Now, if your internet's great at home, no worries. But, if there's like a storm or something, maybe don't do your midterm in the middle of a storm. You know how that goes, right? But just try to plan ahead and figure out a day and time that is best to take the midterm. And also don't wait to the last minute because, again, technology issues are not going to be an excuse if you can't get it done. So as far as the discussion forum this week, you can talk about the story, but also I want you to check in. Like, what's going well for you this semester? What's been challenging? What are you looking forward to in the next few weeks? Like April and May are going to go by so quickly. And so with the second half of the semester, what are you looking forward to? So I'm curious to know your answers to that in the discussion forum. But with your midterm, it is worth 100 points. It is much more than a 10-question quiz. It is going to be reviewing different items we've been going over so far in the course in terms of our textbook and vocabulary. So if you're curious to know and you're like, oh, I'm not good with test taking, I actually borrowed these from Miss Billman. So you can thank Miss Billman for creating these midterm review games. They are totally her creation. I just asked for them because I thought they were really, really cool. But there's 3 different review games that you can do to try to help you memorize and understand terms and concepts. There's a 20-question game that you can play here to like help you go through the different plots, the different terms and meanings, if you want to do that. There is, that's review game A. It's a 20 questions game. There's another 20 questions game that can also go through what denouement means, different things about climax. It'll talk about, fiction readers, true or false. So there's that 20 questions game. And then there's a third one, review C, that does the same thing. So if you learn by flashcards or by 20 question games, you can do that, these review games A through C to help you memorize different terms and concepts. But if that's not your case, I personally would not benefit from that. That's not my type of studying. I do have a just basic study guide here. And the study guide talks about these terms that should be a nice starting point. Now, it doesn't cover everything, but it is a starting point to talk about the different things that may be featured in your midterm, right? Ranging from antagonist all the way down to regionalism, down to why we study literature, right? So that might be something to look up in your textbook. You might look up where each of these are located in your textbook and make a little post-it note or something, or a note, or write on a piece of paper what pages these are on, so that if you need to check in your textbook during the midterm, you can do so. But yeah, that is the assignments for this week. Everything is due by Sunday. I want to make note, if you look to next week's assignments, you will note that the due date is March 19th. And you may be asking yourself, why are we skipping an entire week? Well, that's because next week is spring break, March 6th to the 12th. You will not have an assignment March 6th to the 12th. I want you guys to enjoy your spring break, have a week off, regroup and refresh. If you get bored and you want to go ahead and do next week's assignments, you are welcome to work on and get ahead. But I want you to enjoy your week off. I know I will try to be doing that as an instructor, and I hope you all will have a good spring break. So I will not be checking my email over spring break. Just to forewarn you all, I'm going to be out of town and doing things with family. So if you need to ask me a question about the discussion forum or about the midterm, please make sure you ask me before March 3rd, before the weekend, because during the weekend, I will actually be with our speech team on campus. We'll be competing, and then I'll be out of town for spring break. So if you have any questions, ask me this week. But otherwise, those are the only 2 assignments. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and have a good spring break. You all deserve it. You've worked really hard this first half of the semester, so take a good week off and get well rested and be ready to come back for the second half. All right? I'll talk to you all with week 9's assignments really soon. But in the meantime, have a good spring break, have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye.